evening. Welcome to the Lynn Area Chamber of Commerce Candidates Night. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Jose, and everyone here at La Copa for hosting us. For those that haven't been here before, I'm sure you're finding out what a great spot this is. It's one of Lynn's best new restaurants. Bring the family. Make sure that this business succeeds down here in downtown Lynn. So tonight's forum is just going to be a meet and greet, a 1-minute introduction by each candidate. Some candidates have places to go. The candidates at large have a Zoom forum that they need to attend, so we're going to try to get those folks that need to move on out as quickly as possible. So we're going to start off with the school committee. Those that are here running for school committee. And again, this may not necessarily be the same conversations that you're having with residents as you knock on doors. This is business related. Businesses make up a good population and a large amount of the tax base. Commercial real estate taxes in the city are double what they are for residential. And over the years, I was just saying this earlier, the city has lost for what was a working class blue collar community, has lost a lot of our commercial spaces. A lot of these new apartments we see go up, while they're great, those were places where people once went to work. And once those properties get zoned into residential, they don't come back as commercial. So we need to have an emphasis on growing our business community, and this is primarily for those running for city council, but also for school committee as well, because businesses play a large role in our schools. And as a tech guy myself, we would have been lost without the business communities at Lynn Tech, employing our kids, running our advisory boards, sponsoring programs. You know, we don't have many GEs left. And so we need to embrace the businesses that we have here in the city of Lynn. So with that said, I'm going to start off with the school committee as they have an event they need to attend. And we're going to start off with 1 minute from Andrea Sadoway. Speaking of Lynn Tech, a Lynn Tech grad.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me here. So I'm Andrea Sadoway. I am a lifelong Lynn resident who grew up here, went to Ingalls, Marshalls, and Tech. I majored in health technology and then went on to Salem State to be a registered nurse. I then went to Regis and got my master's in science. So I'm currently a nurse practitioner by career. I have 4 children. 3 are currently in the Lynn Public School System. My youngest is 1 and my oldest is going to be 18. So in between I have a 6 and an 8. But that just goes to show that I'm going to be in the Lynn Public School System for a very long time. So that's really the reason why I'm driven to run for school committee and be an advocate for not only my child, but also for your children if you have children or grandchildren as well. I'm also the chair of the curriculum. And I am on the personnel and policy subcommittee. And I'm running for school committee to just be that voice. And I did 1 term already, which was 2 years, currently seeking re-election for another term. I think that this term has been amazing. I love the challenges we've faced. We have a lot of work to continue to do. And I would appreciate and respectfully ask if I could have 1 of your 6 votes. Thank you. And next, and my colleague, Eric Dugan.
All right, thank you. All right, well, thank you everybody. Thank you La Copa for hosting, and Rick and the Chamber of Commerce for having us. My name's Eric Dugan. I'm seeking re-election. It would be my 3rd term, should I be re-elected. And the unique perspective I bring to the school committee is I'm a public school teacher. I teach 3rd grade in Danvers. Obviously, I live in Lynn. I've raised my children in Lynn. My wife is a Lynn Public Schools teacher as well. So I do bring that, I do bring that unique perspective of a public school teacher to the district, and I bring that to the committee. So it's a really good perspective to have, and I think I've made a lot of good decisions because of it. But thinking of business-wise, because Rick did say that we should be doing that, I'm a big proponent for the Voc and Lynn Tech in particular, and really trying to get those kids out in the community more than they already are. We've made a lot of improvements. The committee I've served on have made a ton of improvements over there to help with the business community in Lynn. And another goal of mine, and it's actually on my flyer, is to increase pathways for our students. And one way we can do that is by building partnerships with you guys and getting those kids out there for mentorships, internships if they're available. So all those things are really important, and I think that's how the school committee can tie in with the business community. We can work closely with you. It's not just about the schools, and obviously it's education, that's got to come first, our students do, but tying into the business community is an important thing of what we do as well. So I think I've probably gone over my minute, but who's next? Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Brenda Ortiz McGrath, candidate for school committee. Welcome.
Thank you for hosting. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brenda Ortiz McGrath, and I am a first-time candidate. I am a proud Lynn resident for the past 12 years, and I'm a mother and a wife, and I'm a mother of 2 beautiful girls. I have 20 years of education. I am an educator. That has been my lifelong career. I've worn many hats in education. Started as a school-based social worker, and at one point was a social worker at Cobbett Elementary School. I've worked my way up in leadership, and I was a former high school principal of Waltham High School, and I'm now a district administrator for Chelsea Public Schools, overseeing student mental health, specialized student supports, as well as social emotional learning. I do a number of things beyond that. I am also vice president of the Lynn Hispanic Scholarship Fund. I'm also a member of the Housing Trust Fund Board for the city, and I'm also Essex County Commissioner for the Status of Women, as well as Director at Large for the National Organization of Commissioners. My hope to be able to bring that level of experience that I've had. I've worn many hats. I've also dealt with large-scale budgets, and I've developed pathways as a high school principal as well. So for me, it's really bringing that level of experience to the table, making sure that we are bringing in resources of support, but that we're also being innovative in our practice and really reimagining what those supports look like. We know that we are struggling with the loss of federal dollars. So what can we do beyond just relying on those state and federal dollars to make sure that we're bringing in those resources for students? So that's part of some of the work that I want to do. I want to be able to support infrastructure. I was the former proud president of the most expensive high school in the state of Massachusetts, which is a $348 million budget, and I sat on the planning board for that. So being able to bring that level of experience is what I really want to do, making sure that we're supporting our educators, supporting them with professional development, but also giving them access to the tools and resources that they need to be able to be successful for their students, and making sure that we're improving student outcomes. Ultimately, my work and my passion is really ensuring that we are supporting and meeting the needs of our students and making sure that we are providing them with access, and that is access throughout all of our schools in Lynn. So thank you so much for hosting this evening, and I would love to have conversations. I can talk about education all night, but I'll be here for a little bit, and then I have to head up to the Lynn Hispanic Scholarship Fund because we have a gala tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Brenda. Good luck. Next up, Lorraine Gately, who may be the longest standing school committee member. I didn't say it.
That was a very nice way of putting that. Yes, I'm going for my 6th term. I've been on the school committee 5 terms. I taught Lynn Public Schools for 33.5 years. When I retired from Pickering Middle School, I was a lead science teacher. I then went over to St. Mary's because they were looking for a good science teacher. And I taught there and got trained in Introduction to Engineering Design with Project Lead the Way. And I love teaching and I love our students. And so, right now, I am in the middle of working with the Pickering Middle School construction. I'm also working on helping innovative pathways, being the chair of Building and Grounds that enables me to do that. I've worked with Innovations and Grants Executive Director, and I've worked with our superintendent on all of these things. We're bringing in new pathways. We have a new building, CASA, and we also have bought in the Eastern Bank building, which houses our administration building, and also has the Frederick Douglass Collegiate Academy. And that academy, I'm glad to say, with our innovative team, they will be graduating this coming spring, and they will have their associate's degree and also their high school diploma. So I'm very, very proud of them and proud of all of our accomplishments. Now, to the original question, how am I going to help the business? What I want to do is continue to push to get new schools, to get more people into here, more businesses into here, and I think that's all covering it. I don't know, and I will answer any of your questions. I'm a lifelong Lynner. I love Lynn. I've dedicated my whole life and career to Lynn. And our kids deserve the best, and these pathways are going to give them the best. Everybody's going to have their needs met, and the business community will profit from that. I know that for a fact. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. Next up, we have another incumbent member of the school committee, Brian Cassiano.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for hosting us tonight, and I'm going to try to be brief. I want to thank you all for allowing me to take some time. I am a member of the school committee. It's been 8 years. It's been the best job I ever had. I've never taken a day off. When you run for school committee, I know my colleagues can attest, it's a serious commitment. It's a serious job. You're dealing with 75% of the budget. You're in charge of making decisions on these children's lives. For a living, to be honest with you, over the last 15 years, every professional and personal decision of my life, I always kept giving back to my community. As a first-generation, low-income Latino, I started off with nothing. This city gave me everything I have today. From the coaches, to the teachers, to the school systems. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the public servant here. So it's my obligation to make sure that when I make decisions, that I have input from the community, that I'm out there in the community making sure that I'm doing the best that I can for the kids every time. I'm an endorsed candidate from the Lynn Teachers Union. They endorsed me. I want to thank SEIU Local 509. They endorsed me. Neighbor to Neighbor endorsed me. I'm a regional specialist supervisor for the Department of Children and Family, where I get to service and help some of the most vulnerable children in the Commonwealth. So I protect children for a living, and I don't really take a day for granted in anything I ever do. I'm very passionate, as you could tell. I'm enthusiastic for the job, and I'm always graciously, every term I earn it. I never think I come into these opportunities as someone that's handed to because I'm an incumbent. This means a lot to me. So anyone out there, I know Rick said that we're dealing with the schools, but if I remember, workforce development is critical. And we have CTE, career technical education, that's booming in this city. And we need to make sure that we're expanding and prioritizing those educational opportunities district-wide. So I know I got a minute, but I'm going to close it off with one of my favorite quotes. Frank Warren once stated, "It's the children the world almost breaks that grow up to save it." Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Great job. We have another incumbent coming up who's been around for a little bit now, Lenny Pena.
Good evening, buenas noches, mi gente. How are you? My name is Lenny Pena. I am currently serving my second term on the school committee, and I'm seeking a third. I work for the YMCA. I'm a volunteer, and I work with many youth throughout the city, and I volunteer with many youth programs throughout the city of Lynn. I'm also an employee of the Lynn Water and Sewer Commission, and one of my biggest assets, I believe, is that I'm a bilingual elected official. I get a lot of calls from parents and constituents who really can't understand or speak the language, and all I do is connect the dots. And believe it or not, I get calls for transportation, help with IEP, special education. I even get calls for trees, water, branches, sidewalks. It doesn't matter, I just connect the dots. I love giving back to my community. I'm a lifelong Lynner. I went to the Lynn Public Schools. I have 3 children. And 3 young children now, and I have 3 other older children that went through Lynn Public Schools. And I humbly ask for one of your 6 votes on November 4th. This is my second term. I'm seeking the third. Number 6 on the ballot. Vote Lenny Pena. Thank you.
Thank you, Lenny. And Lenny is right. You can't call him for anything. When I was the Ward 2 council, I'd have him come down and clear the drains out so there wasn't a flood around Buchanan Bridge. So Lenny is there. We also have tonight with us a candidate for school committee. She's been working really hard all summer long, Julie Pyram Dorsey.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to being here with you guys this evening. Business owners of our town, what a treat. My name is Julie Pyram Dorsey. This is my first time running for school committee. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I originally was a director of housing in Boston. I did that for 17 years. And one of the things that we did was we invested in properties from different businesses around Boston. And that's how we provided a lot of the housing. So once I decided to leave that, I wanted to get back to the city of Lynn, where I've been residing for over 31 years. Giving my age a little bit. I brought my house when I was super young, right after I graduated from Lynn Classical, so don't do the math. But I have been a resident here this entire time. I'm part of Ward 7. Thank you for those of you guys who are running from that ward. And I just really wanted to bring entrepreneurship into the schools. Once I got my master's, I decided to go back to school. I'm currently at North Shore, and I'm getting a certificate in entrepreneurship because I believe that that is the tool that we need in the city. I'm currently a teacher for a CTE program in the North Shore. So I have high school students that I'm teaching criminal law, business law, and apparel currently, right now. So it's truly a treat to have students to be an internship to partner with all these businesses around the town. We need the partnership with the schools and the businesses and the homeowners. This is how we could unite our entire city and seeing eye to eye. It's not a separate thing. We're totally a team. And if we treat it that way, along with everybody else who's running, we could have a successful town. So I thank you very, very much. And I give this back. Julie Dorsey, November 4th, and I'm number 4, okay?
Thank you very much, Julie. I think that's it for the school committee. I know you all have to get to the Lynn Hispanic Scholarship Gala, so thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. Have a great night, those candidates for school committee. Before we move on to the at-large, I was remiss in calling out a few people from the chamber. First off, our executive director, way to go, Ryan Newhall. Office administrator, Christine Niels. Always volunteering, Pat and Dick Newhall. And if it wasn't for these 4 people, the chamber would not be as successful as it is. So thank you all. We also have 2 of our board members here with us tonight. Jimmy Keeley from K Security. Jimmy's wife also owns Flowers by Lorraine, another member who just made a huge investment in their property on Boston Street. So we need to support these businesses so that they can continue to grow. Santiago Aguilar from King Movers. Nobody works harder than this guy. He's such a great addition to the business community in Lynn, and we're very lucky to have him. Next, we're going to move on to the councilors at large, so they can get on with their 7 o'clock Zoom meeting. First off, one of my former colleagues on the council, Councilor at Large, Brian Field.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you to the Greater Lynn Community Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to Rick Starboard, who chairs the Government Affairs Committee. I know Rick's been very active with that particular committee. Thank you, LaCopa, for hosting us here tonight. My name is Brian Field. I'm in my 4th term as a councilor at large for the city of Lynn. I first ran in 2015 and again in 2017 for councilor at large. I was successful in 2017, and I've been serving the city of Lynn along with my colleagues on the council. We have a great team of councilors working for you. I work at a small business here in the city, which is also a member of the chamber. I've been with Solomini Funeral Home for nearly 30 years serving families. So not just in the city, I serve as a counselor, but I think as a funeral director too, it kind of fine-tuned my people skills, really. How to respond to people, how to be attentive, you say you're hardworking, you say you're responsive. In the funeral profession, if you don't respond to a call, you're not going to have a family to serve any longer. So I think that's carried over into my service as a counselor. Rick touched on some of the things that the city's been doing in prioritizing small businesses. I shared at an event just a couple of nights ago a small story about a young lady named Lauren Bateman, who when she came to the city, she owned a small music school in Wakefield, and she was looking for a location in Lynn, and I just happened to see her post on social media back in 2018, and I reached out to her, not knowing who she was and her not knowing who I was, but I got her in touch with Jim Cowdell from EDIC, and things worked out for Lauren. She was able to open her LB Music School on Walnut Street right alongside the Dunkin' Donuts. She had a very successful school there, so successful that she outgrew that location and has moved on. But not only as a brick and mortar business, but her success speaks about what Lynn is. Her success, she started a YouTube channel, and she started teaching guitar lessons on her YouTube. And her wife live here in Lynn. She started a YouTube channel to teach people, the beginners, of how to teach, how to learn guitar. And to be successful, I think, how many people are on social media and think about how many likes they get or views they get, okay? And that's the goal of being a small business owner like her. And if somebody gets 1,000 likes or 1,000 visits, Lauren has built her business up since starting. That just last week she was notified that she had 50 million views. Not just 50, not just 50,000, 50 million views. Those are the types of small businesses here in Lynn that succeed above and beyond. Those are the types of people that we want in the city, that we thrive to work together with. It's the community, it's the private-public partnerships that we create as small businesses, as elected officials, as community members. That's something that I love following her and listening and sharing her story, because those are the success stories. I'm a lifelong Lynn resident. I thank my teachers, I thank my coaches, I thank my fellow co-workers, I thank all of you for helping us get to where we are. And it starts at a foundation. I'm number 5 on the ballot. I'm right at that bottom. I'm the foundation. I ask for one of your full votes to continue serving as a councilor at large for the city of Lynn for another term. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Next up, another one of my former colleagues I sat next to for 6 years. One of the most honorable guys you'll ever meet, Councilor at Large, Hong Net.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you, the Chair, Congress and Congress, for having me here tonight. Hi, good evening. My name is Hong Net. I'm one of your 4 councilors at large, and I love what I do. And tonight I'm here. I'm honored to ask for your support again. And November 4th, the election. And I love what I do. And so we work really well together in the council, and we've done a lot of things together. And I know I don't speak a lot about myself, but I just want to say I've done a lot for the city. I brought a lot of small businesses to our city. I'm also a small business owner as well. And I feel that it's very important. And also I chair the Ways and Means Committee in the City Council. That's also very important. That's one of the most important committee in the council. And I help people to bring a lot of money to the city. Like I create one of the largest community event in the Commons. So thousands of people come every year, which is really bring a lot of money to Lynn, and I think that's very important. I will continue to do that, and I'm really happy what I'm doing. I just want to make sure that I want to continue to serve the city the best I can, and I want to advocate for funding to make sure that our city is prosperous and safe for us to live, and funding for public safety, public education, housing, business development, and job creation. That's the most important thing. So I want to make sure that I continue to work with all the colleagues in the council, with you all, with the state delegation, to bring out funding to fund our project in our city. And this is what we do. And I know that we need a lot of things need to be done. So that's why I'm running, and I want to continue to serve one more term. And I respectfully ask for one of your 4 votes on November 4th. Number 2 on the ballot. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Hong. Next up, we have a first-time candidate running for council at large, certainly not new to local politics, Gene Fana.
Hello everyone, I'm Jean-Michael Fana. I'm running for City Council at large. I'm the only challenging candidate this year. When it comes to business, I do think of a couple things, I'm only saying in such limited time, but one is a focus downtown, making sure that we have a cleanly downtown, a place where people feel safe to be able to walk and shop. We have a very walkable area, and I think the more we invest in what's going on here, putting in more resources, really making it a priority, I think that's one of the best ways we can support our businesses. On a larger scale, because this is a business crowd, I do get a little bit of brass tacks. I do think the city has fundamental economic problems. People look at the budget, there are gaps there that don't have any near-term way of closing, and we all kind of know that we need to bring more business into town. When you look at the history of the city of Lynn, it was transportation into the city that let businesses get product in and sell product out. And I think it's going to take trying to find a real growth industry, something that's employing people, likely with Lynn's history of manufacturing, something where we're making something, working with our hands. And I think we have to be future oriented. We have a changing industry with AI, robotics, and all these things coming. That we want to make sure we're equipping our kids to be able to service these future industries and to hopefully bring those jobs here to Lynn. So I hope to bring that focus to City Council. I am Jean-Michael Fana. I am number 3 on the at-large ballot. I appreciate your vote.
Very much. Good luck. And we have another incumbent councilor at large, another Lynn Tech Tiger, recently inducted in the Lynn Tech Hall of Fame, Nicole McLean.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you to the Lynn Chamber for having this event tonight. Thank you to La Copa for the beautiful food. It was delicious. I just had a slice of pizza. I love the pizza here, so thank you for welcoming us. As Rick said, my name is Nicole McLean. I am one of your counselors at large currently, and I'm running for re-election because I feel like leadership should be about service, it should be about equity, and it should be about community connection. I really do support our small businesses every day. I'm in and out of businesses in Lynn. Just recently, I helped save one of our businesses and kept her here, the Ivory Bakery, who is now over on the at the old Item building. She was on Eastern Ave for a long time. She was a bakery there, and she was having an issue with her landlord, and she needed to get out of that that basic brick and mortar that she was in. So she wanted to move, and I connected her with EDIC. Jim Cowdell helped her with some funding and also helped her with some resources, and she is now in that building and she's very happy. So these are the types of things that I want to continue to do in our city. I've been speaking with Lucille's, that is also over by the North Shore Community College. That's a wonderful wine shop, and we're thinking of doing something like a small business crawl with her and some other businesses in that area, like Ravenstone and Stephanie's, like taking a little trolley or bus around and having some of the community members, be in that bus and, frequent these and shop in these businesses. So that's a brainchild that myself and another community member are thinking of doing downtown Lynn. We've been pricing trolleys, we've been pricing different types of vehicles so that we can then work with the Lynn Chamber of Commerce and do this great event that will bring customers downtown and to see our beautiful businesses that we have in the city, because we have many. So again, my name is Nicole McLean. I'm a veteran. I'm a lifelong Lynn resident. I was born at Stop and Shop, like probably many of you in this room. Like Rick said, I went to Lynn Tech, and graduated in '98. And I love this city. It's a beautiful city. I love this city, and I believe that Lynn is us, and that we need to continue to provide that support and that dedication to our small businesses that we always provide to our residents. So thank you. Number 1 on the ballot.
Thank you, Councilor McLean. And so your ward councilors, at-large councilors, I think we got you out of here in time to go do your Zooms, right? Good luck to you all.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to move on to one of our contested ward races. Longtime Ward Councilor 5, Ward 5, Diana Chakutis, is not running. And so we have a couple of new candidates running this year to replace her. Tough shoes to fill. Diana did a great job. First up is Josh Polonsky, candidate for Council Ward 5.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Thank you as business owners and people that own and operate the business. You've already made the investment in Lynn that we all as candidates, we all as councilors are making every day, that we want all of our residents to make, is the investment in Lynn, because I am born and raised in Lynn. I wouldn't live anywhere else. Lynn is fabulous. Love it. I'm raising 2 children here. My children are in Classical High School and Breed Middle School. I am a product of Lynn Public Schools. I'm proudly endorsed currently by the North Shore Labor Council. I'm also endorsed by Union IBEW 1228. I am seeking your vote to be the next Ward 5 City Councilor. I have worked with youth in the city as a coach for many different sports throughout the years that my kids have been growing up. I was the president of Pine Hill Civic Association for a long time, running all sorts of neighborhood events, using local businesses at our events. It's very important to me that local business succeeds and thrives in the city of Lynn, because with local business, you get a sense of pride. Pride of community turns into clean streets, turns everything positive when you have a sense of pride in your community where you're living. You all are proud business owners. We want our residents to feel the same pride that you do, that I do, and I appreciate any consideration you would give me on November 4th. Please tell your friends. Everybody here knows November 4th is the election. Some of your friends may not know. Some of my neighbors didn't know the primary happened when it did. The more we can pass that message, your voice matters, your vote matters, especially in local elections. If I'm your ward councilor, I'm a phone call away. You can't get in touch with your U.S. congressman by a phone call. You call my phone number, it's not a secretary. I don't have one. That phone call is gonna go right to me. I will address the issues with you. We can work together. I know that as business owners, you've got different issues that concern you than what residents have. I am not only willing to work with you, I want to work with you because we want to keep the businesses in Lynn thriving, because again, it is a wonderful place to be. Thank you all very much. Josh Polonsky.
Thank you, Josh. Good luck. And our other candidate for councilor, running for councilor at Ward 5, is Cardelise Paez. Great to see you here tonight. Oh, Tariq's here. You heard there was pizza.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming out today to learn about your candidates. It's really important, and I'm super excited to have my first run at this. So, my name is Cardelise Paez, or Cardi, and I am a lifelong Lynner. Super excited to have had multiple opportunities within the city of Lynn to grow and develop as a person, but also take those experiences to different places, going to school in California, but also working on economic development work across Latin America. And in my time being here, I've been able to work on other economic development initiatives here in the city of Lynn, and also some affordable housing development, which we all know is very necessary. And now we're here with a whole bunch of business owners, which hurrah, yeah. I spent some time earlier this week talking to a few constituents, and they had continued mentioning, when I was growing up in Lynn, there was a movie theater, you would go to the different shops, there was a whole bunch of mobility. And this, for me, is something that's super important. The city that you live in isn't necessarily the place where you rest your head, it's also the place where you exist with community, where you build experiences, and also having different businesses opportunities and thinking about things like heat resilience. Oftentimes people will go to a mall per se just because it's really hot outside, and we don't really have a lot of those places here in the city where you can call a cooling center or any of these other things. So really working to make sure that you are all successful. And as a counselor, it's obviously our first line of defense. I've heard a lot of business owners struggling to keep their businesses afloat because of their surrounding communities, be it that there's not enough parking for their customers to come, or be it that there's a whole lot of trash on the streets and it's deterring some of their clientele. So really working together to make sure that the environment in which you are in, that your streets are lighted so people feel safe when it's really dark, that there's coordination with the police department and other sort of necessary things for us to feel comfortable, to feel safe, and to be successful. And yes, thank you for coming out.
Marty. Best of luck. Best of luck to you both. Next up, we have Councilor Ward 7. Candidates for Councilor Ward 7. As Council President Jay Walsh, who I served under, who I've known since he was a kid, who is going to be a great loss to this city. Jay, for a young guy, has so much institutional knowledge of this city. I always say that Jay's like an old soul, way beyond his years, and he's going to be a big loss. So for whichever of these two gentlemen who comes along to replace him, again, just like replacing Diana, big shoes to fill. So first up, for running as a candidate for Ward 7, Billy Devon.
Thank you, everybody. First of all, I had no idea what an elevator pitch was. I had to go to my phone and look it up. And so, now that I know what it is, I'm the only candidate this year in the city of Lynn that worked with a local artist. I have my own rap song. And it goes something like this, all right? Ward 7, you gotta vote for Devon. Ward 7, you gotta vote for Devon. But you could certainly Google it and listen to the rest of the lyrics. My name is Billy Devon Jr. I have lived in Westland and Ward 7 my entire life. I was fortunate to meet my wife, who also grew up in Ward 7, Westland, and we've been married for over 30 years. We've proudly raised 5 kids in the city. Our kids all attended Lynn Public Schools, and they all played sports. I am a 1982 graduate of Lynn Classical High School. After Classical High School, I went to the Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts, which some of you people that are my age, an old guy like me, was formerly North Adams State College. So I got a Bachelor of Arts there, and then later on I got a master's degree in school administration from Salem State University. I served in the Lynn Public School System for 30 years. I retired in 2024. I started out as a teacher. I taught for a long time, and while I was teaching, I was coaching, and then I became the athletic director, which was my dream job at Lynn Classical High School for 17 years. It was a very challenging job, but I will say this. I had the opportunity to mentor thousands of kids, and I wouldn't turn any of those 30 years back, because my job prior to that, I worked for 3 years for Charlie Gator Lynn Housing Authority. I was the youth sports director at Kerwin Circle in West Lynn. Why do I want to, everybody's like, oh, you retired in 2024. Why do you want to run for ward councilor? Well, guess what? I have an awful lot of time to give back to the community that I love so dearly, and the community where I raised my kids and that I still live. I want to see us continue to advocate for public safety, school resources, affordable housing. And I'm looking around here and I'm like, this is going to be a wonderful place for me to take my 5 kids and my wife out to eat. This is like an amazing restaurant to support downtown. Constituent services are very important to me. And what Mr. Polanski said, the ward councilors in Lynn are your first step for your residents for government. We're a phone call away. Transparency, accessibility. On November 4th, please remember, Ward 7, you gotta vote for Devon. Ward 7, you gotta vote for Devon. Listen to the message he's sending. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Well, with a rap like that, I can see why you didn't get picked for the Super Bowl halftime show. Next up, candidate for Ward 7. Oh, there he is. Another one, been around for quite a while, another Lynn Tech grad, Jordan Avery.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jordan Avery. I'm a born and raised Lynner with deep family ties here in our community. I am the only candidate in Ward 7 who happens to be a small business owner that owns 2 small businesses in Ward 7. I might not have a rap song, but when it comes to community engagement, when it comes to working with our small businesses and supporting our small businesses and getting them through the finish line and supporting them and coming to the restaurants where I've came here plenty of times and got to know the owner with amazing food, I've been doing this job for a long time. And I'm grateful to have the support of Jay Walsh, the outgoing city council, and also former Lynn Tech alumni, and also a small business owner in Ward 7. You know, if it's from fires to volunteering, I've been there in this community doing just exactly that. So I would really appreciate your vote on November 4th, and know I will support small businesses each and every which way as I'm right in it with you during these struggles as we face in this economy today. So thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you, Jordan. And our other ward contested race, I think we only have one candidate here tonight, is a candidate for Council of Ward 1, Paul Guthrow.
Thank you. One of my overall goals running for the council is to reduce the anxiety in my neighborhood and in the city. And how am I going to do that if I get elected? I'm going to study the issues, I'm going to work the issues, and I'm going to communicate back out to my constituents so that the anxiety level goes down. I'm talking simple things like construction schedules, you know, for the Pickering Middle School going up in Magnolia Park. It's a great story. The foundation base is good. You should start seeing steel being erected December 15th. So right around Christmas, you should start seeing the frame of that new middle school. I want to tell you, I've been a neighborhood guy for 45 years now. My wife and I have raised 4 daughters, and we're now empty nesters. My daughters went to Sisson Pickering English and St. Mary's. And 2 things about that. Raising my daughters through the neighborhood, I learned a lot about the city and a lot about the neighborhood. And also the fact that I'm an empty nester now, I have plenty of time to dedicate to the neighborhood, okay, and to the city council. Also, I'm retired from GE Aerospace after a 40-year career, okay, and 4 years in the military, okay, so I have the passion, I have the discipline, I have the skill set to take care of issues in my neighborhood and also work with my fellow council members to make this city even better than it is, okay? I advocate for firefighters, police, teachers, not necessarily in that order. I advocate for small businesses, affordable housing, and that's why I'm running, because I think I can do a much better job. And that's about it. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Paul. Good luck. Paul was one of my constituents in Ward 2 until they shifted the lines, and he found himself in Ward Wonderful. So that is it for our contested races, but we do have the rest of the council is here from the other wards, and I'm sure they'd love to speak too, because you all love to speak. So from now, we'll just go right down the line, and we'll start off with my friend and my replacement, who's doing an unbelievable job. I was happy to support him, and I always will. Councilor Ward 2, Obed Matul.
Thank you, Councilor. Good evening, everybody. I want to thank the Chamber of Commerce and La Copa Restaurant for hosting us today. I gotta say, Ward 2 is very well represented today, from Councilor Starbird all the way here. Christine will adopt you, okay? This is the Ward 2 line right here. Thank you, everybody. My name is Obed Matul. I am the sitting Ward 2 City Councilor. Councilor Starbird, I replaced him, and like you've been saying, I have big shoes to fill, so I've been working hard. What have we been doing in Ward 2? one of the things that we started doing when we first started campaigning was go around and ask constituents what they needed, what they wanted to see improved, what changes they wanted us to do, what did they want us to focus. And I gotta say, public works was one of the biggest things. As every city councilor and Councilor Starbird and the other councilors that are here know, it's one of the toughest things to get done in the city. Financial issues, manpower issues, all those things affect the city, the way that things get done. But last year we had 22 out of 52 streets paved in Ward 2, which is almost 40% of the paving that took place in the city. We also started the Floating Bridge Pond Association, which we have a couple of board members and a couple members here today. We have been focused on cleaning the floating bridge. We actually have a cleaning Saturday, November 1st. If anyone's free, please come join us. We have been focused on getting traffic up to Cook Street Park, up in the Highlands. We did the first community fiesta last year, and then we did the second year this year. A lot of people didn't know that we had a park up there. When Kinney Park closed last year for the renovation that was happening, a lot of the youth, a lot of the students, they didn't have anywhere to go after school. So when we did the community fiesta up at Cook Street, a lot of people found out that we actually had a park up there. We also have Henry Avenue Playground right close to it. So a lot of traffic, a lot of students, a lot of things that were happening at Kinney Park, when they closed, they moved up right up to Cook Street. And what happened, we started seeing that the park, that the garden, everything was, it's not 100% clean, but it's a lot cleaner than it used to be before. Why? Because we were able to bring traffic up to Cook Street. And I'm looking forward to 2026, 27, 28. We're gonna have a lot of work. Western Avenue is gonna get reconstructed. Essex Street is gonna get reconstructed. So good luck to myself, Councilor Allenson, and Councilor Natasha, because we're gonna be getting calls every single day. So thank you again. I'm looking forward to serving my second term. Luckily, I don't have an opponent, but we have still been door knocking. We have still reaching out to people, letting them know that we are here. And to my constituents who are here, because there's a lot of them. I'm just a phone call away. You guys are just 2 blocks away from my house, so come see me. All right? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Councilor Stark.
Thank you, Councilor. I know a Ward 2 street that didn't get paved. Half of it's in Ward 1. Thank you. Moving right along, Councilor Ward 3, doing an amazing job. Everybody knows him. I don't care what corner of the city you live in. Councilor Coco Allenson.
Thank you, Councilor. Good evening, everyone. I know a lot of you know this. I love photos. I love taking photos. I was actually outside 30 minutes ago on a Zoom call for Aborn School, which is in Ward 3, and I could see you guys having group photo. I said, darn it, I missed it. But I have to prioritize my constituents, so I was in a Zoom call. I'm also lucky that I have no opponent in this election. It's an honor to do this. I never stop, even though we have no opponents. We're always there. But I am successful because of some leaders in the past that mentored me, and one of them is Councilor Rick Starbird. When I was elected, I was the only new candidate in 2021. He actually mentored me and taught me everything, and I still do. All your newsletters, never miss a month because of you. And because of what I learned from you, and then what I learned from Councilor Fred Hogan, who was there for me since day one, I also helped mentor Obed and Pete and Natasha, because at the end of the day, we're all from Lynn, especially we're ward councilors. We are the first line of defense. So if you guys, whoever wins in your wards, rest assured, we will be there for you, because if you will be successful, the whole city of Lynn will be successful. I came to this city, I have no family here. I was not born and raised here, but this is my home now. I came to this country when I was 24. The city was so, it embraced me and my husband. I am the only out LGBT gay counselor in the whole city of Lynn. You guys embraced me, adopted me. This country was amazing for me. I have no hidden agenda. I have no business in the city. What I'm doing now is just to serve Lynn with all of my heart. But at the end of the day, when I retire, although this is my adopted home, my home will always be in the Philippines. So I will go home there with my mom and my husband. And there's a house waiting for us there. But while I'm here, I will serve you with all of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, you, Councilor. And you do serve with all of your heart. Next up, we have the Councilor of Ward 4, who's the newly elected councilor this past term, running unopposed, so that says something for the job she must be doing. And let me just say, no matter where you go, wherever you're cutting a ribbon in what corner of the city, Councilor Meji Madre is always there. So, Councilor Ward 4, Natasha Meji Madre.
Hi everybody, my name is Natasha Meji Madri and I am the current Ward 4 City Councilor. And I want to thank the Chamber first of all for having this event. It's so important to know the candidates and know who you're voting for. It's important. And I know that everybody here in this room is going to be voting, but make sure when you go vote, you also bring like 5, 6, 10 friends, however many you can fit in your car. Because it's so important. The voter turnout is terrible. We must do better. And this restaurant, I love this restaurant. I was just here for lunch, and we need to do more supporting local businesses, so please make sure you come to the local businesses and support them. I've been in Lynn for 27 years. I have 4 amazing children and 3 grandkids. My newest grandkid is 2 weeks old, and so the community is very important to me. And no matter where, like whatever event, like Rick said, whatever event's going on, whatever ribbon cutting is going on, I'm there. Because I really care about making sure new businesses feel welcome, because it's so important so that you are, you know, giving back to the community. Like Jose does an amazing job here, and the food here is really good, so please come back. It's so important. Ward 4, we're doing a lot of things. We're going to have a park redone. It's Sagamore Street Park. I know 1 minute is not a really long time, but I definitely want to say that please come out and vote. It's so important to vote on November 4th. And I just also want to say that we're going to be losing Ward 5 councilor and Ward 7 councilor, and they did an amazing job, and I wish them the best. And just make sure that you do your research. Look at these candidates and vote for who you think will represent you better. I'm so proud to be the first Afro-Latina elected to the Lynn City Council. We need to do more to represent. It's so important. And a shout out to my fellow councilors. They're great. Whenever I have a question, I ask them, and it's really been great. It's been an amazing job. And thank you to all the candidates. I know it's really hard to run for office, so please do them a favor, knock on doors with them, make a donation. It's so important. Just get involved, and thank you to all the families, to my family especially. I know it's been hard. Please support these candidates. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natasha. And last but not least, we have the Councilor of Ward 6. This guy I couldn't be more proud of. From his time when I was teaching at Tech, we'd have him do school dances as DJ Freddie, on up through his coaching career, always about the kids, and always about Lynn, and coined the phrase, all Lynn. So, once again, I couldn't be more proud of the job he's done, especially since he's been elected as Councilor Ward 6. Fred Hogue.
Thank you. I had the honor of sitting next to Rick, next to him on the city council, and it was truly amazing. But Jose and his wife, we can't say enough about La Copa, and this place is truly amazing. Jose, thank you. Lynn Area Chamber of Commerce, how important is it? Businesses are our backbone. They're the backbone of our city. They help our taxpayers lower their tax rate or not make their tax rate go so high. In Ward 6, we have some of the most biggest businesses in the city. We have GE. We have Wash Cycle on the Linway, who just expanded from 100 and something jobs, and they expanded to more jobs. Did you know we have a condom factory in Lynn? Yes, we do in Ward 6 on the Linway. It's called Global Protection Corp. It's not a joke. That's serious. It's the one condom company, but they do that, and they're doing it right in Lynn. They moved from Boston to Lynn, but that's 57 jobs, and they're going to expand. But this is what we're talking about, expanding our businesses and making our businesses more to help us, the homeowners. I'm a homeowner. I'm a lifelong Lynner, but I welcome all Lynners. Just because you were born and raised here doesn't mean we don't welcome new people. We welcome new people into our city, and we welcome them the same way as a lifelong Lynner. But I'll tell you, Ward 6 is going under major construction with the CSO project down there. We're coming to the end of it. They're digging into GE right now on Bennett Street. Starting this week, we're doing 20-something streets again, repaved, curb to curb. So that neighborhood that went through a beating for 4 years is now going to be revived in the next couple of months. So that's unbelievable. And I want to give a shout out to my constituents over that area. Pine Hill, every street in Pine Hill, Ward 6, this spring, this summer, got repaved curb to curb. We made a deal with National Grid. National Grid did the middle line to the end, and the DPW and the City of Lynn did the other end. So Ward 6, every street in Pine Hill is repaved, every street in Precinct 4, most of them will be repaved in the next couple of months, so we're really happy about that there. But remember, the visitors, Lynn Area Chamber of Commerce, and everyone in this room tonight understand that we're all here together in Lynn, and we're going to make Lynn a better place, so thank you.
Great job. Anybody have anything else? Ryan, anything you want to add? Ryan did point out that global protection, and it does say that Lynn is the condom capital. They're also members of the Lynn Area Chamber of Commerce. So support our members, support this great restaurant downtown, as well as all the others. Councilman McLean was talking about doing a business crawl through the downtown. Earlier in the year, the Chamber did. We started out at April's, did a poker pub crawl down here where we walked through the neighborhoods. Rossetti's, Chow, all came back here. It was an awesome night. There's so much going on down here between the restaurants, down in the Black Box. Actually, tonight there's, I think it's comedy night. Down there in the Black Box Theater. There's music down there regularly, so stay in tune and look online and look on Facebook to what's actually going on down here, because there is a lot going on in downtown Lynn. So with that, thank you, all the candidates, all the elected officials that came out tonight. It's such a busy time of the year for all these folks that have to constantly stand up and, or sit down and do these debates one after the other. It was worse than doing nothing. So I appreciate the time that you all took coming down here, talking to our members tonight, and have a great night, everyone.